Welcome to Truth and Company Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, John the Truth Dioria, and tonight we have another segment of 20 random questions. And tonight's guest is professional boxer Nate Rubin. How you doing, Nate?
Hey, John. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great, man. I appreciate you taking time to come on the show. So, what's going on right now in your life, man? What's going on with your career?
Not too much. So I'm still in the gym every day. Still training. Feel like I'm still in great shape. But right now I'm just, I got 5 kids that I take care of, and my fiance, she's overseas right now, so I'm kind of just taking care of our kids right now. But I'm, still training every day, but just full-time dad duty and working, working full-time, and just still training.
Okay, so just to inform the fans, in case they were wondering, Nate Rubin is not retired. He's still training. He just right now he's got other life issues going on, so we probably will see him back in the ring, right?
I would love to, be back in the ring too.
Okay, are you ready for these random 20 questions?
I think so.
All right. Question one: how did you get involved in the sport of boxing?
Um, I really loved boxing, just the sport itself. My dad, he was a boxer, so my grandpa, he taught boxing too in in Cass Lake on the Leech Lake Reservation. But my dad and my uncles, they all boxed, so that kind of sparked a little interest in me early. Um, I just really like the sport of boxing. Um,
Now, were any of them professionals like you, or were they all amateurs?
they were amateurs, yep, but they were tough, yep, but they were amateur.
Okay. So, question two: tell me your boxing Mount Rushmore, your top four favorite fighters.
My top four favorite fighters, I would have to say that's a tough one too. Um, let's see here. I would have to say, I would put, based on, achievements inside and outside of the ring, I would say definitely Muhammad Ali is up there. Um, Floyd Mayweather. Um, let's see, maybe Manny Pacquiao, and then maybe one. Uh, it's tough. It's a lot could be up there. Even any of them guys could be replaced by some of these other older guys too, like Sugar Ray Robinson. Definitely, he should be up there too. And yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, some of them guys.
Okay.
Tommy Hearns.
All right. Question three: do you have any hobbies outside the sport of boxing?
Outside the sport of boxing, I love spending time with my family, doing things, outside, spending time outside, hiking, just being outside in nature. I like traveling different areas, taking my kids to, you know, just just see different parts of the country and do those types of things.
Okay. Question four: who's your favorite all-time boxer?
I would have to say Muhammad Ali.
Okay. Question five: what's something that your boxing fans don't know about you?
Something they don't know about me. Man, that could be so many, but something simple. You know, you got any examples of something? I honestly, I can't really think of anything
No,
right
I
off
mean
the.
it can be something small, just something that your boxing fans wouldn't know about you in general.
Mm, I would say, just basically a lot of them might be asking what's kind of going on with me in the last couple of years of just my career of not fighting. And that would be a good question. And I would just say, just kind of spending time with my family and, staying healthy and, just kind of, just living life and spending time with my family. And it's been good. I'm pretty blessed to do that. And, I would love to, I feel pretty charged up for a fight and pretty healthy with the time off. And like I said, I've never left the gym. So I think that would be something that a lot of people might be kind of curious about.
Okay. Question 6. If you could have dinner with any 4 people in the world, dead or alive, celebrities, people from history, who would you want to sit down with at a table and talk to?
Any
Any
four?
any any 4 people out of history, celebrities, yeah, anybody that you'd want to have at your table, dead or alive.
Okay. Man, yeah, these are some thinkers because wasn't prepared for some of these. I didn't see some of these questions. So, you know, dead or alive, I'd have to maybe say some, just people that were, and to put a finger on, exact names, but it's really hard to say. But, if I could say, it would maybe just be, key figures and historical turning points in history that kind of just, I don't know, kind of helped in the times, or, even say for boxing, Muhammad Ali would be one of them. Who else? I can't honestly, not, can't really think of a name.
Okay. Now your phone was fine. Don't mess with it because it was perfect.
Okay, sorry.
All right. Question 7. What's the best advice you've ever gotten from another boxer, and who was it, and what was it?
Okay. So I did see you ask this question one time, and that's a good question. And one uh one one thing I was told by another boxer, and he's now a coach and somebody that I watched when I was younger growing up. Um, he told me one time too, there's a lot of politics involved in boxing, and there's a lot of politics involved in all sports. But he said in boxing, the cards may be stacked against you, but as a boxer, you still have that 1% chance where, say, you could knock them out and still defy the odds. In other sports, you kind of don't have that. You might not have that other chance if, say, politics are kind of, it's pretty known, just more so maybe on the higher end of boxing with politics, but even on the lower end, I'm sure we see it.
And who said that to you?
That was Ceriso Fort.
Okay.
He told me that one time.
All right. Question 8. What are the top 5 things an amateur boxer needs to know when they decide to turn professional, in your opinion?
I would say just, ask yourself how committed are you, to be a pro boxer, it takes a lot of commitment and sacrifice from your personal life, and just be prepared to face that, and just with your regular daily routine, your family, and your relationships. Just so say that again. Like the question, you said name multiple things or just one or.
Yeah, the top 5 things in your opinion that an amateur boxer needs to know when they turn professional.
I would say as well, the pro game's a lot different than the amateurs, just, try to definitely get yourself a good team of people around you and to help you and, that definitely are in your corner to support you. In the long run and, that are there for the right reasons. And then I would say, it's, pro amateur boxing, it's fun, but, and I would say even amateur boxing, it's like a way of life, but pro boxing, it steps it up even more. You guys got to eat, sleep, and breathe boxing from the moment you wake up to basically the time you go to bed. And that's, pretty much on amateur boxing can be that way too. But I would just.
Anything else?
Those kind of just jump to mind, I would say.
Okay. All right, question 9. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten. This might not be too weird to some, but I would say maybe frog legs.
Okay. All right, question 10. Who's your favorite athlete outside of boxing?
Favorite athlete outside of boxing? Mm, yeah, you know, yeah, that's a tough one too. Outside of boxing, I would say, you know, probably my next favorite sport, I would say, I don't know, maybe basketball or UFC. So I would probably maybe say, Michael Jordan.
Okay. Question 11. If you could be any animal for one day, what animal would you want to be?
If I could be any animal, I would probably say maybe an eagle.
Okay. All right, question 12. Who was your favorite opponent to fight?
My favorite opponent to fight. I would probably have to say Ramiro for sure.
And that would be Ramiro Hernandez?
Correct. Ramiro Hernandez. Yep.
Okay. Question 13. What's one of your best boxing memories in your career so far?
I would, some of the best memories, and the things that kind of just kept me in love with boxing, I would say, is just, traveling and, getting the opportunities to visit other places and, yeah, so, my best memory, like, exactly how you're saying, like, my best memory, like, one particular instance or just my favorite memories from boxing or.
Yeah, just something general that comes to mind that's throughout your career one of your best memories in the sport so far.
I, such a simple question, but it's just, yeah, it's hard
Makes
to
you-
explain and hard to really, just put a thumb on one of them. But, just to describe any of them, I would just say any moment attached with me just kind of, just feeling the, the thrill of, satisfaction of boxing. And I would say the thrill of winning. There's been times after, more so in my pro career, after a win, I'll just be randomly driving, say after the show, I'll be driving home or in my car, and out of nowhere, I just kind of have an outburst. I just kind of say, like, woo, and that's kind of the rush, just that total, I don't know, just the total feeling of accomplishment of just winning a fight and, just getting yourself ready for the next one, self-accomplishment and, taking on a risk and a reward and, and just trying to leave a good legacy for my kids and my family is kind of the ultimate of what I look at and try to get my kids interested more in next.
Okay. Question 14. Why do you box?
I would just say it was, I took up boxing when I first started. It was kind of just to learn self-defense, and I was naturally just a competitive person. I love sports, and I just kind of took to boxing pretty well. But I fell in love with it. I love boxing. I just, love winning, and I kind of did it for self-defense, but now I just kind of did it for love of the game and, for sport. I just love the strategy involved in boxing and, just the science behind the sport.
Okay. Question 15. What is your opinion of the YouTubers and the internet influencers getting involved in the sport of boxing?
Honestly, I just don't pay them much attention. I see a lot of people pay them a lot of attention or, and they don't like them, but yet a lot of them people are the ones that are kind of more so giving them airtime. If they can get people to buy their, pay-per-views, more credit to them. I haven't bought one myself, so, but, I kind of just, if I'm scrolling social media and I see some of their clips or highlights, I'll watch them, but yeah, just not too, I don't follow any of them.
Okay. Question 16. How has boxing affected your life in a positive manner and in a negative manner?
In a positive manner, it's brought a lot of discipline to my life. I've tried to eat healthy, since I was very young. I just was in sports my whole life and just continue that on with boxing and just, keeping a routine, training. I feel that, boxing is kind of, I'm 35. I just turned 35 now. So I feel like it's kept me pretty young as, even with the last few years I've taken off, I spent a lot of time just kind of really healing up injuries that I had and being even better than I was in the past few years with those injuries. And so I'd say I'm even healthier now and just pretty rested. And, I really haven't had a lot of fights. So I feel like I, definitely have a lot, few fights left in me for sure.
Okay, and what about negatively?
Negatively, I would just say it takes a lot of time away from your personal life, your family. You really don't hang out with a lot of friends, and you miss a lot of time, on things with your family and spending time with your family and your kids. And that's probably the hardest thing for me, is just making sacrifices, time away from your family.
Okay. Question 17. What's something that you're very passionate about besides the sport of boxing?
just being a good dad for my kids and my family. Just being, a good role model for just, all people around me, my kids, my family, friends, and just, yeah, everybody around me.
Okay. Question 18. If you could have a conversation with one person in history, who would you want to have a conversation with?
That's a tough question. Yeah, these ones are kind of, I could just give a quick, simple answer, but yeah, just somebody through history and time.
I'm just going to throw this out there while you're thinking. Jesse Kelly just came on screen and said, "Good to hear from you, Nate. Looking forward to seeing you in the ring again soon."
Oh, good to hear from Jesse. Yeah, that would be awesome.
So you can't think of anybody that you'd want to talk to out of history?
You know,
I mean, it doesn't have to be. It can be somebody that died in your family. It can be somebody, a historian, anybody.
yeah, so, yeah, that's, it's really hard for me just to even think of exactly who I would want to, yeah, honestly, ooh, yeah, I would maybe just say maybe a past family member.
Okay.
Um, yeah, probably maybe, yeah, maybe a past family member. And it would be hard because it would be maybe just more than one I'd have just multiple questions with. So
Okay.
probably, yeah, past family member.
All right. Question 19. Who is the hardest puncher you've ever faced in the ring in a fight or sparring?
Hardest puncher. Um, you know, it's pretty hard to, you know, I would say, you know, it would probably be out of, let's see here. The hardest puncher, I would say probably in my pro career so far, it would have been either Ramiro or Jose Soto, the last guy I fought of my last match in my pro career. It was either one of those two guys, and I thought Ramiro's power was a little more. It was nonstop, so it was a little more. I don't know how you describe it, but his power was a little more.
Consistent?
Yep, it was more nonstop, and then the other guy, there was a time in that fight where he kind of caught me off guard, but it was just really fast and explosive. But I luckily at the time it didn't really catch me clean, but it kind of, I felt the power of it and it kind of pushed me off balance. So, in my mind I was thinking, oh wow, like that kind of caught me off guard, kind of surprised me, but he didn't have the nonstop power that, so it was pretty close. Him or Ramiro, Jose
Okay.
or Ramiro.
Question 20. What has been the biggest accomplishment in your life?
That would be just being a dad. Yep, being a dad and
Okay.
yep.
Well, listen, that's our 20 questions. But like I said, I got a bonus question for you. It came in from another Minnesota fighter. He asked me yesterday if I would ask you on air on this. This is up to you how you answer this, whether you answer it or not. I'm just gonna throw it out there. So, bonus question coming from Rondell Hubbard. Give him hell, Hubbard. He wants to know. He says the fans have wanted to know for years. He wants to know why you won't fight him at a catchweight. You guys are both towards the end of your career. He said Minnesota deserves the fight. He wants to fight you at a catchweight. What do you have to say?
I'm not sure what catchweight he's talking about. If it was 140, I mean, you know,
Well, don't you normally fight at like 126?
well, I've never fully weighed in at 126, but my last few fights were at 130.
Okay, so he fights at like 135, doesn't he, or 140? I bet you he could
Yeah.
fight you at 130.
Well, he fights at 140, so you know he did message me and ask me about it, and I told him if he could meet me at 135, that maybe we could make it happen. You know, I would be open to it too, but I would like a fair, I'm willing to meet him halfway on the weight if he could meet me at halfway on the weight, and I'd maybe go up even just a couple more pounds to even make it happen too. You know, maybe 137 if he could make 137.
Okay, so it's not off the table then. You're willing to fight him as long as you guys can agree on a decent weight that works out for both of you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. You know, I'm sure we could, if we can, figure that part of it out. And
Oh, I would have to believe that the Minnesota fans would love to see that fight.
I think that would definitely be a good one too, myself. And I would love to give that one to the fans.
There's a lot of speed in that fight between the two of you and a lot of nice technical skills. I would love to be sitting ringside shooting that fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I think that would be that would be good for Minnesota and boxing, I believe so myself.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like you said, you probably have a few fights left in you. Rondell's probably got a few left in him. You guys are both getting up there in age. That would be one heck of a last Minnesota fight for the two of you, I think. A nice big one.
It'd be good.
I mean, okay, let's just throw this out there. Let's play devil advocate. What if you've seen Rondell fight enough? He's seen you fight enough. What do you think in that fight that you would have the edge on?
Well, yeah, so I won't really technically say what I would or wouldn't have the edge on. We used to spar and stuff, so and that's just sparring, so I really don't really got much to say about that part. Just
Okay, but you guys have, just in case the Minnesota fans didn't even know that, you guys have actually been in the ring together and have sparred several times.
yes, yep. So we've sparred in the past, and it's been a couple years now, but yep, we've sparred. We've had some good sparring, groups in the past.
Okay, so you're quite familiar with each other then in the ring. Okay.
Yep.
Well, listen, then, I want to thank you for answering the 20 questions. Thank you for being honest with that answer as well, with wanting to fight Rondell and how it would work and how if it wouldn't work or whatever. But I appreciate you being honest with that. I'm sure the fans appreciate that as well. And hopefully, somewhere down the road, you two can work it out with you guys as people and a promoter and a catch weight. And the money, we all know it comes down to money as well. It's a business. And that you guys can put on a spectacular fight in front of the Minnesota fans. Hopefully we'll see that before both you guys retire.
Yeah, well, I do too. That would be nice.
All right, well, listen, you got anything to say to your fans before we end, Nate?
Just want to say thank you to everybody, all my friends and family that have supported me along the way and, just stuck by as fans and continue to support me. Yep, I'm looking to definitely kind of, just make an appearance back in the ring and kind of just give give what I got left to the sport. So,
All
yep.
right.
Thank you to everybody, and thank you as well for bringing me on, John. And
No
for the
problem. I appreciate it. All right, hold on, and the truth has spoken.